essence and our nature. So I claim for each one of us this night, speaking my word as the word of God, that we live our lives clearly, attracting to us that which we want. I claim for each and every one of us right here and right now, abundant prosperity, vibrant health, loving relationships, and joy-filled success. This is the truth of us. This is the only reality, and this is our lives now. So I know that as we gather tonight for this first class, we get what we need to get. We take this information, we use it, we live it, and we manifest it in every area of our lives. I am so grateful. I am so grateful to be able to have this power, to be able to know this truth, to be able to be aware of how life works for me and for everyone here, to be able to create the lives of our dreams. I am so grateful that we already have every good thing. And having set spiritual law in motion, the only thing to do is to let it show up in every dollar, in every experience, in every relationship, in every event, in every moment. And so, we turn it over as together we say,
and so it is.
Wonderful. Come on in, Katie and Sue and David.
There's some seats here.
Where are the seats?
Right here.
Raise your hand if you've got a seat next to you.
There's one here. Two.
Donald, maybe you move over and let David and Sue sit together. Over here. Great, great, great. So, I want you to know that this is what I know. I know this stuff. I have been using and teaching spiritual law for over 30 years. I know how to create. I know how to create for myself. I know how to create for others. And I know how to teach you to create in your life. So, all I want is a willing canvas to write on for the next 6 weeks. And what I can promise you is that if you will make a shift in consciousness, if you will focus on what you want instead of what you don't want, you will get what you want. And it is my job to bring up any and all resistance, so don't get mad at me. It is my job to show the way and encourage you to go there so that we can get past whatever barriers we may have and live the life of our dreams. Now, I know that you guys all know this. This is not new material. We are powerful, creative, spiritual beings alive and well on planet Earth. We are manifesting our experiences. Every atom, in every molecule, in every element that makes up everything is our creation. Nothing happens by chance. Nothing happens by accident. Everything is created by us. So if we know all of that, why are we still saying, boy, I wish that happened, I wish that didn't happen, what in the world is going on there? They did that to me, they took that away from me, oh no. What is going on in us? Hello? Thank you. What is going on in us that keeps us from doing the work that we know to do to create what we want to have? And so over this next 6 weeks, which is 36 days, we're going to focus. And we're going to do what we need to do to break through whatever it is we need to break through. So if you're really just here because you wanted to see what Barbara was going to do, you wanted to just see who was going to come, but you really have no intention of changing your lives over the next 6 weeks, I would encourage you not to even waste your time. But if you believe that you can create major change in your life over the next 6 weeks, the next 36 days, by getting a hold of your thinking, by focusing on what you want, by bringing to life that which you want to live, by turning away from conditions and negativity and things that bring you down and move into lifting you up, you can have amazing shifts in 6 weeks. And that is my intention, and I believe that by right of consciousness you are here, so you're being carried off with that. But this is not going to be a class that has a lot of reading. There's a lot of great things out there on the law of attraction. There's wonderful Esther Hicks Abraham stuff. There's Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind, has an entire chapter on the law of attraction. There's The Secret and all the spin-offs from that. There's a lot of reading out there that you are welcome to do. But I want to take it from an intellectual understanding. Oh no, have you seen what so-and-so says about the spiritual law? No, I don't want to do that. I want us to live it. I want us to focus on it. I want us to breathe it in and bring it out and have it show up in our lives. So there's not going to be a text for this class. There's not going to be homework like you think homework is. It's not going to be what did someone else say on chapter such and such, page such and such, paragraph such and such about something else, so that you can keep a good distance from it and not really have it be real. The homework that we do is going to be about bringing these experiences into form. And I want you to know that we're going to have fun in this class, because if it's not fun, why bother? And if we don't create out of a sense of joy and excitement, then our creation is going to be, oh, this is so hard. Oh, now I have what I wanted and it's so much harder. We don't want to go there. We want to be in our joy. We want to be in our happiness. We want to be excited. We want to be living the good life and then and then watch things show up that are in alignment with that consciousness. So we have this idea, the law of attraction. Is there anybody in the room who does not know what that is? Excellent. Because I was not going to talk down anyway. So we have this thing that's called the law of attraction. It's called the law of cause and effect, the law of mental equivalence, the law of correspondence. It's got all kinds of names, but what it is that we are creating our lives. We are the ones creating our lives, which means we can never again point a finger at someone else and say they did it, they didn't do it, they gave it to me, they took it away from me. It has nothing to do with anybody else. There is a theory that there is only one person going on in the world, and I don't mean the oneness of all mankind. I mean that I am every person in this world completely. That this is just my world. And I have peopled it with myself. And so think about that. You are living in your world. And you have peopled it with you. That means your spouse, your neighbor, your parents, your children, the person in the grocery store. That's all you living that life. Wow. There is another idea that says every experience in your life is a direct manifestation of you. And I don't mean, oh, well, it's race consciousness, or, well, it was the economy, or it's flu season. No, I mean you created that exact thing. You created that. You created that red light, you created that green light, you created the seat that you're in, you created the seat that doesn't seem to be available, you created the coffee, the tea, me, the center, the clothes that you have, the job that you have, the relationships that you're in, the amount of money that you have in the bank, and for me, most importantly, how you feel about all of that. But you have manifested exactly the things in your life. And I mean, you pull down the quarks and the particles and the atoms and the molecules and shove them all together in consciousness until they show up just like that. Everything in your life is a reflection of your consciousness, and you can bring it in or you can send it away. If you bring it in and you keep it and you wish you could send it away, it's only because you're clinging to it. You're holding on to it. And how do we do that? We hold on to things by thinking about them. We hold on to things by talking about them. We can tell our friends and our family all about this thing that's hard, this thing that you're working on, this thing that's not working out, this thing that's a disaster. We can bring life into that experience, and then there's no way it's going to go away. There's only that which is going to tie it to us through an energy, an attraction, a vibration that holds it into our lives. And then we're holding on for dear life to poverty and illness and unhappiness and saying, oh, I wish I could be prosperous. I wish I could be well. I wish I could be happy. Not willing to let go of that story, that belief, that idea, that mental stream that goes round and round inside of your head, talking about the things in your life because you think that's the only thought to think. And when we get a hold of ourselves, when we mature spiritually to the level that we can exercise our God-given power, which is to manifest all of creation, not just a little bit of creation, then we can let go of that which no longer works because we look at it and go, well, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm doing this. I remember a couple of years ago, one summer, I was frustrated. John was newly elected, and I was having trouble moving forward in life. And out of nowhere, I broke my little toe. Oh, what a hassle that was. I couldn't wear closed-toed shoes. I was wearing high-heel flip-flops on Sunday. It was swollen and red and hurt. And I'm going, God, I know I did that. Not only did I do it, but I did it in such a way that nobody else was around me. I just did it. I broke it. So I'm working on myself, but I didn't really shift all of the consciousness because as soon as that one healed, I broke the toe on the other foot. The same toe on the other foot. So what I realized, Barbara, is that if I don't shift the consciousness inside of myself, I will attract to me that table leg, that chair leg, that thing under the bed. All I was doing was getting into bed and kick it, and I will attract those circumstances that just seem so random and create on the outside what I'm feeling inside of me. And so I had quite a bit of time that summer to sit and to think and to really get clear about who I am and what I do and how safe I am in the world and how willing I am to move forward in life. And as soon as I did that, I stopped breaking my toes. So I use that as an example of what is it in your life that seems to be happening outside of yourself repetitively that you don't want. And if it's happening on the outside, it's because you are bringing it in on the inside. You are out there finding among, what are we up to, 7.5 billion people, just that person to go into business with, where you're going to have that experience. You're going to find just that person to get into a relationship. Oh, it's love. People tell me, oh, the chemistry was amazing. I go, oh, no. Because chemistry is all about adrenaline and excitement and neuroses, and the masochist and the sadist come together and it's chemistry. And then we have on the outside the same experience that we've had over and over again. So where we go is away from all of that. We go away from all of that, not 10% of the time, not 15% of the time, not even 20% of the time, all the time. Because if we're going, oh, I'm prosperous and abundant and happy and healthy and whole in every way. Oh, life sucks. Do you know what they just, do you know what happened? Do you know what I just saw? Oh no, this isn't going to work out at all. What in the world is going on? Which one am I going to create? I'm going to create this. Now some would say, well, trained thought is much more powerful than untrained thought, but frankly both of those thoughts were trained because we have trained ourselves to just go into automatic and to pull out of the experiences of life that which we expect to have. And so what we want to do is change our focus. And I've done all kinds of workshops and seminars and self-help experiences. I've read thousands of books. I've heard countless recordings of people. And I've done many of those things with a lot of pressure. Barbara, you gotta get this. You gotta get it fast. You gotta get it before everything falls apart. So quick, do some affirmations. Quick, write down in your journal. Quick, do some treatment before things completely fall apart. I don't want to do it like that anymore. I want us to shift our energy, to take charge of our state, and to insist on enjoying our process as we diligently, not 10%, not 15%, not 25%, but all of the time, focus on what we want to live. Focus it in visualization. Focus it by writing stories. Focus it by telling each other all of the wonderful things that are happening in our life and sending out tractor beams all around us of vibration to bring those experiences in. Why do you think some people have great lives? It didn't just happen to them. People have great lives because they think great lives. Not only do they think it, they don't dabble in it. They live great lives. They breathe great lives. They talk great lives. They take action based on the great life they have. And when you do that, you get to have a great life. So if there's anything going on in anybody's life that's not 110%, that's the area to work. You don't have more money than you can spend. I didn't see anybody come down by helicopter. I didn't see any limos pull through. So if you are focusing on more cash, then what do you have to do? You have to become that person who has an abundance. And you put out those vibes. We live in a vibratory universe. We live in a reflective universe. This is not real. This is not real. The only thing that's real is inside of you. And it goes out, and it vibrates, and it reflects, and it comes right into your experience. So what we do is focus on it by being it. And I don't mean go on top of a mountaintop and just chant the Om. I mean, be a rich person. What is a rich person? People say, I want to be rich. And I say, well, what is a rich person to you? And they go, I don't know. I just want to be rich. No, you don't. You really want to be small and poor and tell a story about how you want to be rich. Because if you really wanted to be rich, you would go out and take action that rich coincides with. What have you done to be rich? Well, you know, the job market in Asheville is just so hard, and my unemployment got extended. Isn't that great? No, that's not great. Don't talk to me about unemployment or any kind of compensation or lawsuits or food stamps or anything like that. That is not great. What is great is having money to spend. So what does that feel like? Well, I don't know, I don't have any. Well, get some. Get some. Well, how do you do that? How would you go get some money?
Do you believe that you have it already?
Give some money. Give some money. What else? Get another job. What else? Create something and sell it. What else?
Really believe it?
Get some new ideas. Go borrow some money. I don't care. Get some money in your hands. Get it, get it, get it. Most of us in this room are of the age where cash is still king. I know that there's a whole generation coming up that's a foreign concept to cash and checks. It's all about plastic. So you guys can just translate what I'm saying. Get some cash. Put it in your pocket. Have a wad. Have a wad of cash. What kind of a pocket does a rich person have? What kind of a wallet does a rich person have? What kind of a balance in their checkbook does a rich person have? You can take that checkbook balance, white it out, and write whatever you want in it, and then look at it. Look, Barbara, that's so silly. I would never do that. Fine, stay put. You got to do something different if you want to have something different. It doesn't matter if they're $100 bills or $1 bills. You can have $99 $100 bills, put a $100 bill on top of it, put a rubber band around it, and that's what you see. Change what's going on inside of you, what you're bringing into your experience. And then we have to put the sensor on the mouth. I know you're all on your best behavior when you come here, and sometimes that scares me. Because the things that I still hear, the things that people say and do. So we have to put a sensor on our mouth. Can you imagine if every word that came out of our mouth was a direct order to the universal storehouse to deliver that which we have said? It is. So if you don't want it, well, I don't really feel good today. I don't really want to go. I'm a little tired. You know, I got a little crick in my back, and maybe I would be better staying home and just putting my feet up. Do you really want that? Do you really want to live the rest of your life staying home and putting your feet up because you have a little crick in your back and you're a little tired? I want to go out used up. I want to go out tattered and bruised and used up and fluttering around the edges. I don't want to take care of myself. I want to live my life. If I live my life, I won't need to take care of myself. I don't want to waste a day putting my feet up because I got to get ready for the next day. Well, I rested up on Saturday so I could come to the center on Sunday. No! You want to go out and live. You want to go out and do. You want to go out and be and live the life that someone filled with energy, healthy, and 20 years younger than you would be living. Deepak says, take your chronological age and throw it out the window. Never tell yourself your chronological age again. Drop 20 years off of it. Tell yourself that's how old you are. I'm done telling you I'm 60. I'm 40. I'm 40 years old and I have the vitality, the energy, the flexibility, and the stamina of a 40-year-old. I am ready to do anything. I can conquer the world. And then I can. But it's not just for show. It's not just, well, when I go to Center for Spiritual Living, I'll speak very positive things, kind of most of it, until someone takes my coffee or the muffin is cold or something like that. The music wasn't what I wanted. You know, I'll do that on an occasion. You can't do it on an occasion. And we only have 36 days. So what I'm thinking is every day there's a focus on getting up in the morning and saying, I will live the entire day as the person whose life I am creating. I will live as if I'm in love. I will take myself out. I will go get roses and champagne and massages. I will be that incredible business person making global deals and getting dressed in the morning. Well, I don't have a job to go to. Oh, get up, take a shower, and get dressed. If you keep saying you don't have a job to go to, and you keep being slovenly, you're not ever going to get a job. So you've got to be that person. Get dressed. There's a story about a gangster back in the 30s. And there was a guy who would just hang out next to the gangster's car. But he was dressed. He was spit shining. He had those fancy shoes, and he was decked out. And it wasn't long before the gangster said, oh, you're somebody. I want you to come work for me. Now, how do we do that? How do we get up in the morning and say, I'm somebody. I'm somebody. And because I'm somebody, I'm doing something. I'm doing something important, whether it's in business, whether it's going out on a hike, whether it's going to the grocery store, I'm somebody instead of I'm nobody. And then people start to look at you and go, wow, you're somebody. You're hey, you've got that Kim Drive Hendersonville, don't you? You know, you have two of them. You're somebody. How does that happen? Because you first bring it into you instead of, well, I don't want to be somebody. Somebody might notice me. Exactly. I don't want to be somebody. I may have to do something. Exactly. The biggest danger we have in this kind of a community is people who want to stay small and they say they want to be big. The biggest danger we have is we'll just cloak our fear with this good lip service of how we're powerful and we're doing what we want and living the life that we want to live, and really what we're doing is hiding. The best thing we can do is put ourselves out there. And put ourselves out there not just 10% of the time. Oh, but Barbara, this is going to be so hard. I guarantee you living small and being stuck with a life you don't like is harder than any amount of effort you'll ever put into this. I want you to be happy. You know what happens to you when you're happy? You release all kinds of hormones and endorphins and enkephalins, and it youthens you. You lose weight when you're happy. You get younger when you're happy. You get stronger. Your bone density gets thicker when you're happy. You have a better life in every area because you are vibrating happiness. Do you know what money does around a happy person? It chases you down. It multiplies. It finds you. And you know what money does around someone who's going, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get up today, you know? I just think I'll just watch soap operas today. Money that may have been looking for you goes, wrong person. And away it goes. Not to mention what people do. You ever been around someone you just didn't want to be around? I think that sometimes people think that about you. Think about it. Honesty is the best policy. Oh, we like to keep our distance. Let's talk about that other person and all their problems. I have never had any growth unless I talk to myself in the mirror, because then I was the one that changed. And when I changed, everything around me changed. Everybody around me changed when I changed. There's an incredible law that will bring into our experience literally anything that we want. People can bring disease into their experience. People can bring genetic diseases into their experience because they think they inherited it, not knowing that they were adopted at birth, and they have no genetic connection with that family at all. They still create that disease. And people can send that disease away. We had that story yesterday about a dead baby. Dead baby. Good Mother's Day story. Now I know a lot about it. Mother's Day. Let's talk about dead babies. That great story about the dead baby. Except 2 hours later, it wasn't. What do you want to bring to life? What do you want to kill off? What do you want to have? What do you not want to have? If you don't want to keep it, for God's sake, would you stop watering it? Would you stop showing it off? Look, here is my tumor. Look, here is my x-ray. Look, here is my bankruptcy. Look, here's my divorce papers. Woo! No. Stop talking about it. We've got to come up with a censor for our mouths. And if you have to bite your tongue until it bleeds, do it. Just stop it. Stop creating the life that you don't want to live. You have to give yourself some room to create the life that you want to live. And so if you're not going to go on the old you, if I'm not going to be the old Barbara Waterhouse, but I want to be the new Barbara Waterhouse, what does that mean to me? It means that I do what I want to do. It means that I'm clear about who I am. It means that I'm in my power. It means that I'm manifesting what I want to manifest in my life. It means that I am having fun. What does it mean to you? You want to stay with the ball and chain? Well, if I stay at this job 10 more years, then I'll get a pension. Is it worth that? Do you think you can make it 10 more years? And if you can, then can you do it happy? Can you do it powerfully? Can you do it in your joy? Can you be on top of your game? Can you be the best that you can be, if that's what you're going to do? Or are you just going to say, well, I have to. I have to. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. You absolutely do not have to do anything. We have a rule around here. I have to doesn't get to come out of somebody's mouth. They say, well, I've got to go turn off my lights. No, you don't. You don't. You don't have to. You can. You can choose to. You can want to. You can go turn off your lights, but you don't have to. What does that tell yourself when you say, I have to? It tells yourself that you're powerless, that you're weak, that you're helpless, that you are defined and confined by circumstances outside of your control, and that means that you're going to live a life that you don't want to live, but you have to. Or you can start listening to what comes out of your mouth and establish a little sensor. A little sensor with a shut the mouth. So someone's having a conversation with you and all of a sudden you just go, because nothing good was going to come out. Well, Barbara, you know I'm thinking it, so what? We got to start somewhere. We've got to start somewhere to stop the insanity that has us living lives, that has us not jumping up and down for joy. It's about jumping up and down for joy, waking up in the morning excited and happy, having everything work out right now, having things work out that we don't even know about. They're happening halfway across the world. They started 20 years ago. They're dealing with people we don't even know exist, but they're working out for our good, and it's whether or not we're going to bring them on in or we're going to not. Because, you know, it's just too much trouble to be happy. This hashtag 100 happy days, it's a lot of work. I don't know if I have time for this happiness. What will people think about me? Who will my friends be? What will I do? Who will I be? How can I stay small and stay free at the same time? You can't. How can I stay safe and be free at the same time? You can't. How can I stay small and be big at the same time? You can't. You have to choose. And when you choose, you take risks. Has anybody ever gotten a divorce? Risk. Has anybody ever left a job? Risk. Has anyone ever moved? Risk. You have a choice in life to take a risk, to just check it out. What's the worst that can happen? You'll be dead. It'll be okay. They say being dead's really great. They say if we knew what being dead was about, we'd all go jump off the bridge. The worst thing that can happen is pretty great. Take a risk. Shift the way you are. Stop holding on so tightly to that which is known, even though it's uncomfortable. You establish the sensor on the mouth. Shut the mouth. Then stop, because someone is saying, well, why aren't you saying anything? Now you have a little moment of reckoning. Are you willing to be honest? Are you willing to take your power? Because the words that were going to come out of my mouth, I don't want to live. I was going to agree with you and your sorry take on the world. I don't want to do that. I was going to sacrifice my integrity to try to get you to like me. I don't want to do that. There's something better in me, and even though I don't know what it is right now, I'm going to shut my mouth till I find it. Do you know what that will do to your life? Do you know that will immediately put money in your bank account? Ooh, this isn't a bank account of someone in integrity. We're going to fill it up because that's the way energy works. That's the way the law of attraction works. The vibration works. Do you know what that will do to your body? Your stress levels will plummet. Your veins will open up. Your blood will start to flow, and you'll get an oxygen high and an endorphin kick, and all of a sudden you'll be feeling pretty good. Wow, that really worked. That shut your mouth. I might write a book. Shut your mouth. That really worked, and so then you start thinking. You start thinking about other things. Well, if I don't want to say that, what do I want to say? I love you very much, but that's not true for me. I choose to live in a world filled with love and plenty. And that's where I'm going to stay, and I'm not going to move out. Are you willing to do that? Do you have the inner strength within you to be able to handle being rich, being happy, being healthy, being at the top of your game, being successful? Can you stand it? Yeah. Can you? Then are you willing to shut your mouth? Yeah. You have to be. If you really think you can stand it, if you're really up for the challenge, you have got to stop living the life that has you small. You've got to. It is no fun. It sucks. It's terrible. And people have bought into this this idea that says, well, we're only human, we can only do so much, you know, we have limitations on us, and that's just as much as you can ask of me before I have to take Saturday off and put my feet up and take care of myself, because I'm just worn out. There's so much more. Wonder how many Saturdays people have missed. How many great days people have missed because they sold themselves short. And you know, if you tell yourself you don't have any energy, you won't. If you tell yourself you can climb to the top of Max Patch and run around in circles, then you can. If you tell yourself you're old, you will be old. If you tell yourself you are young, you will be young. They can measure it just like that. It does not take months for it to show up. It shows up just like that. And my favorite, if you tell yourself you are poor, you will be poor. Even that which you have will be taken away. And if you tell yourself you are rich, things, opportunities, experiences, money will seek you out, and it will find you no matter what it has to go through to get to you, unless you drop the ball. And how do you not drop the ball? You shut your mouth. And then when you shut your mouth, you start thinking about what you're thinking about. I don't care. I used to say it won't give you a headache. Some of you it will, but I don't care. To think about what you're thinking about and then have the power to change it is critical. This takes a lot of discipline. This takes a lot of inner strength, but the things that you get out of it are huge. You get a new life. People say, well, I would do anything to have a new relationship. I want my soulmate. Well, will you stop being an awful person? Will you stop being critical? Will you stop being petty? Will you stop being angry? Will you stop being vindictive? Will you start being open and loving and generous and kind? If you can do that, you will have somebody in your life. But what happens is we've got this law of attraction that works also kind of like a fire hose going around us to shoot people away because we're saying, don't come around me, I'm just in a foul mood. That's the law of attraction. And then finally, your true love has traveled halfway around the world to find you, and they're right there, and they go, ooh, no. You got to look in the mirror and see what's going out of you and what's coming in. And people say, well, I don't know what's going on in my consciousness. I'll give you the crash course. How much money do you have in the bank? How many assets do you have? How much discretionary income do you have? How much fun do you have with your money and your stuff? That will tell you how much value you have. How much love do you have in your life? And I don't mean sticky, manipulative, covert hostility love. I mean open, joyous love. How much real love do you have? Well, I have a cat. Well, that's a start. That's a start, but even cats can cop an attitude. Maybe that says how much love you've got going on inside of you. And what do we do with our love? We funnel it out by holding on to resentments against other people. Well, you don't know what happened to me. Darling, I do. I don't think I could ever hear a story that would surprise me or that I haven't heard some version of in my 32 years of ministry. So I don't care what happened to you. What difference does it make? So what? What's happening to you today? How much are you willing to stand in love and be naked? What was it called? It was Gibran. You brought me that Gibran stuff. To stand naked in love's opinions and let them wound you if that's the case. Who cares? But then you'll laugh, all of your laughter, and cry all of your tears. You'll be alive. Well, I don't want to do that again. I might get hurt. You might. You might get hurt because you might do the same stupid thing you did before. People don't hurt you. You hurt yourself. You say, that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm going to go this far in life. I'll pick up the socks, but I will not pick up the money. And what happens when you draw a line in the sand? Then that line is made manifest in your life. I don't know what happened. There's a line in them. They just won't cross it. No, you wouldn't cross the line. So if you want to know how your consciousness is with love, look around you. How much real love do you have in your life? If you want to know how your consciousness is in terms of health and balance and wholeness and living in this world, check out your body. I am a big believer of being buck naked. Get a long mirror. Put it in your bathroom if that's what you need. That's as far as you'll go. Otherwise, put it in your living room. Yeah, that's for me being buck naked. Put it outside. I don't care. Listen to the nervous laughter. Why? You know, we're such a crude society. The Europeans really mock us. They're so uptight. We teach little children that their genitals are dirty. Just screw them up right from the beginning. There's nothing wrong with your body. You're beautiful. You're perfect. I'll give you a little out. In different times of our society, different sizes have been held in high esteem. It was not that long ago that if you were really big and really pale, you were held in high esteem. You were really big because you had way more food than you needed, and you were really pale because you were not working the fields. And then, no, now you gotta be really skinny and really tan. So people go into tanning booths and they starve themselves to try to fit some image that if I'm skinny and tan, I'm going to be held in high esteem. No, it is just perfect the way we are. What is wrong with cellulite? What is wrong with that? Oh, that's bad. You have to get rid of it. There's something bad in you. You know there is. You have to get rid of it. That is crazy stuff. That is back to original sin stuff, just repackaged. There's nothing bad in you. There's only that perfect being that has a physical form. And for some people it's big and for some people it's small. I've worked with plenty of people who just are so upset because they're too thin. I would go, really? That's their thing. That's their thing. Let's find something wrong with us to stand buck naked in front of a full-length mirror and to really get that you're good. You don't have to go to, I'm hot, I'm sexy, I'm fantastic. You can. Let's take it one step at a time. But to get that you're good, that this is your body, and it's good, and you're doing good work with it. Wow. You know that will make diseases go away? They say that so many of our diseases are from inflammation. We have a flame inside of it. It's not the flame of focused passion. It is the flame of anger and upset. It burns us. And so when we can look at ourselves and release that criticism and condemnation, our bodies get better. We bring that right out of the same cells that we brought disease. To be able to say, I love my body. I love where they ended up. I love that. I love that because they're mine. I love that. I love the way my face worked out. I love my ears. I love my elbows. I love my skin. I love that about me. And it may not look like somebody else, but great. Because I don't want to live in a world where everybody looks the same. I don't want to do that. And when I can do that and stand in front of that mirror and really get that I'm good with my body. I'm good with my body. My body goes, oh, let's be good. Let's be great. And all of a sudden, blood vessels expand and blood loosens up and organs start to excrete their juice again and our bones get denser and our backs get more flexible and our skin tightens up and our eyes get brighter and everything changes. Why? Because we didn't just take that moment to go, oh, God. You know what that does to you? It attracts from seeming innocent experiences in your body things that then come together to make things that cause pain that make things that cause lack of being able to do what we want to do. And then we go to a doctor. Oh, doctor, I'm here for my yearly checkup. Please, can you not find something wrong with me? Most of them can. And then you get a name. Do you know what they called it? Do you know what they said? I'm going in for tests. Oh, pray for me, I'm going into the tests. It's like, wait a minute, don't just throw that at me. Pray for me, I'm going in for tests. We need to look at this. Why are you going in for tests? What is going on inside of you that you are walking down this path to create something physical in your world? What is going on? And do you really want it? Some people might. I think everybody's got a right to get sick if they want to. Everybody's got a right to get sick. Everybody's got a right to be poor. Everybody's got a right to be miserable if they want to. They usually don't end up around me, or they leave at the break. You are pulling it right out of thin air every second, every minute, every hour of every day. You can have a lump in 1 minute and not a lump in the other. Don't freak out. The body lumps. It does. The body lumps. It's okay. And then it goes away. Then the lymph system flows again because you're happy and you're flowing and everything's good. And all of a sudden the lumps are gone. It's okay. Can you live that way? Can you monitor your thoughts? Can you look at your life and say, this is me, this mess is me, and if I want to clean it up, I've got to clean it up inside of me? This relationship, this person that is acting this way is me? You get to where you see someone you really like and go, that's me. That's me. Yeah. But you got to be that to have that in your world. You attracted that into your world. How about things that go right? Do you ever have the day when everything just goes right? That's you. Do you ever have the day when everything goes wrong? That's you. The problem is that when things start to go wrong, you jump in. Oh my God, it's going to go wrong again, and so it does. Oh no, this happened, this must be broken. Nobody in our offices is allowed to blame a machine. You're not allowed to blame a machine, because machines are simply biofeedback machines. So if your printer doesn't work, if your computer doesn't work, if your car doesn't start, if your cell phone's on the blink, that's you. And the only thing to do is to go inside, take a deep breath, let it go, change your state, be happy, think about what is working in your life, and then watch something that you were sure was broken and dead come to life. We've done that with batteries a lot, mostly because I don't want to hang out here till AAA comes. We'll just go over there and change the energy around the battery, and then the car will start. Yeah, everything in your life is a creation of yours. Look at the person next to you. What? Yeah. That's you. So you awaken in the morning and decide what kind of a person lives the life that you want to live, and then you live that day. You know, let's do 12-step, one day at a time. You got 36 of them. I have faith in you. You live as if that were you. Well, my goodness, I'm a powerful person in the world. I'm somebody. How would I handle this? Oh, well, not the way I was about to handle it. I would handle it differently. Then what do I want to do? I want to handle it the new way. I want to be nice to that person, or I don't want to take their call. So, you know, sometimes it's talking, sometimes it's not talking. Sometimes it's, no, I don't do that anymore. What was my phrase for a while? I stopped letting people talk to me that way decades ago. Yeah. You know, welcome to my dilemma. On the one hand, my social self wants to be nice to you and put up with this. On the other hand, the part of me that's clear that I don't do this anymore is screaming at me saying I'm totally out of integrity to let you think that this is okay. I love that phrase. Thank you, David. Welcome to my dilemma. Welcome to my process. This is where I'm at. So I'm going to go with the part of me that doesn't do this anymore and say thank you and goodbye. Yeah. And then what you do is all of these other attractions that say this is, what were those transactional analysis terms? Dumb Dora doormat. You know, the person with the sign that says kick me, all of those attractions that were almost at your door, they go, oh my God, she doesn't do that anymore. We better go find somebody who does. And there will be plenty. There are plenty of people in the world to accept those kinds of experiences. When I go into a store, I rarely ask for help because the easiest thing for the person who says they're going to help me to say is, we don't have that. And they can go on to their break. So I'll go, I'll see what it is that I want to have. I will be the person who finds it and walks out of the store with that. And then I'll walk into the store and I'll walk into my creation. And someone says, oh, can I help you find something? It's like, no, because you won't. I want to find what I know is here. We don't carry that. Sure you do. Here it is. What kind of a life do you want to live? What kind of a world do you want to step into? It's totally up to you. And then the most amazing thing is that the cars show up, the houses show up, the deals go through, the money shows up. Instead of things getting really, really close and just falling away, they just come flying into your world and you go, wow, there's so much happening so fast and I can handle it because I'm filled with energy and I'm the person that lives that life. That will happen to you. It's like we're pushing the universe away. And it takes all of our energy to keep our good at bay. It's no wonder people are exhausted because they've used up all their energy to keep their good at bay. If we just half let down our guard and our need to be small, it'll come bombarding us. People will find us, phones will ring, money will show up. All of a sudden our time is, oh my gosh, I don't have time to watch the soaps. I've got to go buy a new car, and I've got contracts to sign, and oh, my personal seamstress called to say I needed to show up for a fitting. I've got to go. I've got to go from the life I don't want to live into the life that I want to live. But you can't give up. And you can't, I used to not like it when metaphysical teachers would say that. You must keep your guard up. You can't let your guard down. You can't stop thinking about what you're thinking. You can't stop analyzing what's showing up and how that is a reflection of what's going on inside of you, to use that as a barometer. Well, if I'm frustrated, I'm creating things that are frustrating, and I can point at those and blame those and everybody else around, or I can look at myself and say, why am I frustrated? I'm frustrated because I don't even want to go here anyway. I'm doing what I don't want to do for people that I'm trying to buy off to get to like me so that I can be safe instead of free. Wow. That's an awakening. Now I'm at a real choice. Do I want to do this and do it because I want to do it and do it in joy and in love? Or do I just want to say, no, you know, I had an epiphany, I've had an awakening, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to do something else. But oh my gosh, Barbara, what are you going to do if you do something else? Who knows? Who knows? Again, what's the worst thing that can happen? You can be dead. Really, we have this story inside of our head. Oh, for years, Margaret and I were sure we were going to be bag ladies. That we were going to be one of these people pushing a cart, you know, and on Miami Beach and picking up cans and stuff like that. That's the story that I told myself to keep myself in relationships that I had no business being in anymore. And once I realized, well, I'd just as soon be a bag lady as stay here, I was free. And what I learned is that there's no way I'm a bag lady. Can you imagine me being a bag lady? There's no way that's going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen because too many times in my life I'm willing to risk it all to step forward. What's the worst that can happen? They can run us out of town on a rail. We can lose the center. We can lose our good name. People can make fun of us. People can call us up and tell us how we're taking everybody to hell. You're leading all those. Oh, they do that. What's the worst that can happen? What's the story that you tell yourself myself small. Oh, well, I may not have any food, I'll be hungry. But let me go on this new diet where I starve myself. We're crazy. So just acknowledge that we're crazy and start finding our way out. Stop talking when you should not talk. Stop being the kind of person that you don't want to be with. I marvel at how petty we can all be, and I include myself in that. It's like, really? You're going to be that petty? Really? You're going to be that small? Really? You're going to harp on that little thing? There's 1,000 things going great, and that one little thing, you're going to harp on it, you're going to push on it and make somebody wrong for it just so you can get a temporary surge of pseudo-power? Really? Do you want to be around somebody like that? God, no, then stop being that way. All right. Come on, this is the I that is we. So how do we want to live? What do we want to do? Start setting this law in motion and watch what comes up. Has anybody ever had some kind of miraculous experience happen? Yes. The very fact that we are here is miraculous. The very fact that we are alive is miraculous. How many people moved to Asheville from some other place? Yeah. And how many people told you that would never happen? Yeah. Yeah. We already use the law of attraction every second. Every second we command the power of all of creation, not just a little bit of creation. Our word is God's word. Period. End of story. Our word creates entire universes, all of physical form. Our word. So what is it that we are going to use our word for? And the first thing is, what are we going to not use our word for? We are not going to talk small. We are not going to talk down to other people or ourselves. We are not going to talk poor mouth. Oh, I would love to go to lunch, but I don't have any money to go to lunch. Really? You don't have any money to go to lunch? It's lunch, for God's sake. Go have an iced tea. Go. What is it that we're not going to talk about? We're not going to talk about how circumstances and people have done us wrong. Nobody can do us wrong. Nobody can take that which is ours, and we cannot keep that which is not ours. That's true for husbands, cars, money, jobs. If we lost it, it wasn't ours anymore. It had to go. This life is balanced. This world is balanced. It is vibratory. It's reflective. It is all about us. So we're going to step into the life that we want to live every morning. We're going to monitor what comes out of our mouths and stop it when it needs to stop. And then we're going to put out that which we want to experience, and we'll talk about that after the break. So a little housekeeping, those of you who are math nuts, the class is 6 classes. 6 classes actually span 5 weeks and 1 day, thus making 36 days. We're not counting the week after the last class because we won't be in class anymore. Are we good? Can we move on? I'm always interested in what sticks in people's way. You can have it all. You can have your life any way you want, and all you have to do is check. That is wrong. Also, we are videotaping the class. This is the first time we videotape classes. And this class, because it is solely a la Barbara and is my intellectual property, is going up on the website in some amount of time shortly after the class itself. So if you want to watch it online, it will be available. If you're not familiar with our website, We have about 8 years worth of Sunday mornings and various workshops and classes, all available for free downloads. We also have a number of recordings and books for free downloads. One of my favorite books that was the book that Rhonda Byrne found, which started off the sensation of The Secret, is Wallace Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich. That is on our website, along with his other book, The Science of Being Great, and they are available both on book form for free downloads and these fantastic audio recordings that Barbara Waterhouse did a number of years ago, all available for free downloads. It was some of my best work reading those books. There are also a number of other books, and we are actively gathering up the old public domain early metaphysical books that all talk about the law of attraction and putting it on our website as free downloads. There's also an organization called Spiritual Living Archives. Archives.com. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Archives.com. And they have a huge amount of free downloadable material, a lot of Ernest Holmes stuff, and just hundreds, maybe thousands of books and unpublished works and things like that that you can go to and download and read. So if you want to read, please feel free to go out and read. That's not our focus. Are we done with this? Good. What my focus is, once you shut your mouth, what do you want to open it to? What is it that you want to bring into your experience? And after having studied this for 36 plus years, what I have learned is that it doesn't really matter exactly what you affirm or what you treat for or what you visualize. Oh, how can that be so, Barbara? Because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a receptive state to attract to you circumstances and events that are then reflective of that state. So, if you feel like you want to create a relationship and you affirm for this wonderful person who is generous and exciting and fit and happy and outside and moving and all of that, well-read and smart, all of that good stuff, what that does is that makes you feel a certain way. And it is your feeling that then brings in that person. Usually a number of people. If you've ever done that, all of a sudden the floodgates have opened and people are everywhere. So what you're doing is you're picking something that will generate a feeling. And that feeling then is a vibration. Remember, we live in a vibratory, reflective universe. So that feeling is a vibration that then opens you up to bring in that experience, that person. You feel great. So something happens in alignment with feeling great. You attract things that feel great. So what I have learned is that it doesn't really matter what you do to feel great. But it is critical that you feel great. It doesn't really matter what you do to feel rich. But it is critical that you feel rich. It doesn't really matter what you do to feel healthy. But it is critical that you feel healthy. It doesn't really matter what you do to be happy, but it is critical that you are happy. So what we want to do is we want to learn to be masters of our state. If you want to be master of your fate, learn to be master of your state. And as you learn to be master of your state and generate the types of feelings that you want to experience in life, they will be coupled with circumstances and events and things that are in alignment, that have been attracted to that feeling. So you may think that you're just loving to go outside and feel the breeze in your hair, and then before you know it, you're either on a bicycle or a motorcycle or in a convertible or something like that, and what you've got is that same feeling of moving through life with the air going and all of that excitement. Now, you didn't know you would love a motorcycle, but there was an energy and a vibration that had you get on one, or maybe those inline skates that somebody left here. Who knows what it would be? It might be running. We have people training for the color run. When is that?
July 26th.
July 26th. You too can run with the Center for Spiritual Living Asheville group in the color run. You run with white t-shirts on, and they throw colored pellets at you or something like that. Colored powder. Well, great. And by the time you finish the run, you're all multicolored. Great, it's a lot of fun. So you may have that experience, but you didn't know. You said, oh, I want to be an airplane pilot. That's what I want to be, and you didn't know that you wanted to drive a convertible. So what we do is we generate the state. And the feeling then manifests in form. It brings to it everything that's the same as that state. That's why it's so important not to be a curmudgeon. Don't do that. You will attract to you all kinds of things that will have support of your curmudgeonly. Like, oh my God, why did I buy that stock? The entire stock market hit a record today and my stock plummeted. Well, you did that. So don't do that. I mean, this is not rocket science. This is not that complicated. You're doing it. If you don't like what you got, stop doing it. If you go to the same restaurant and order a hamburger and you're a vegetarian and they bring you the hamburger and you go, darn, I don't eat meat, and you go back and you order the hamburger again, who's doing that? You're doing that. You know you've done that with relationships. Taking a job that didn't match. You got the car because you thought you could afford it, even though it was awful. You know you've done that, so don't do that anymore. Generate inside of you the feeling of the life you want to live. Censor what you don't want. Nail it shut if you have to. And then begin to focus on things that will create a feeling. I got a feeling. You want to do that. You want to do that. So, how do we do that, Barbara? I've got a handy-dandy exercise for you. Pass them back. Pass them back. This one's going to go all the way back to the group in the back. If you've got extras, hold them up. If you run out, if you don't have any, raise your hand. I need 100. I'm not sure exactly how many people are in the room. I know there are a few empty seats. If you're a couple and you want to share, that's fine. Now, how many of you are students of Abraham? Good. You know this one. Appreciation gone wild. Appreciation gone wild. We're not just going to have moderate levels of appreciation. We're going to go wild. And the important thing is it doesn't matter what you are appreciating. Who cares? What you're doing is you're generating a feeling inside of you. So, it says, every day, this is your new spiritual practice. If you have to cancel chanting the Om, do it. 15 minutes. 15 minutes to start the day off. Look around your immediate environment. You are not looking for world peace. You are not looking for saving the whales. You're looking for what is at an arm's length. Look around your life. Find something that pleases you. I personally love coffee in the morning. coffee, especially if I'm still in bed and my husband brings it to me. Coffee. It could be a picture, a painting, a piece of furniture, an appliance, or virtually anything else that you choose to focus on. You can appreciate your finger. This is not hard. This is about learning to generate a state, a feeling. Hold your attention on this pleasing object as you consider how wonderful or beautiful or useful it is. I love having a finger. I love it. Not this one. I love having a finger. Now, take a moment to be appreciative of the way these wonderful feelings are noticeably stronger than they were a moment before. You are learning to manage your feelings. I love it when people say to me, oh, I couldn't help it, I just felt that way. Well, that's a crock. You chose what you feel. Then you feel it and use that feeling to justify what you do. So let's use it in a positive way. Choose to feel great. Choose to feel courageous. Choose to feel strong. Choose to feel supported. Choose to feel loved. Choose to feel powerful. And use that feeling to justify moving forward in life. Yay! You're going to appreciate it. It's going to deepen. It's going to expand. Don't try something that you don't like. This is not a game. This is not about, oh, there's a trick. I have to pick liver and onions to appreciate. No. No, pick chocolate. This is easy. Remember, we're going to feel good over the next 36 days. We're going to practice feeling good every morning. What is your cup? Isn't a cup a marble or something with a wheel on it? Wow, we had past lives where there were no wheels. Wheels are great. I often stop and admire hydraulics. I'm sure I was some kind of a slave laborer in many lives. And I'd go, wow, hydraulics. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Air conditioning. Running water. Yes. Clothes. Shoes. Anything. Pick something to appreciate it and then work it and work it and work it and feel that appreciation grow. Feel that energy, like when we do the kids. Feel that energy fill you up until it goes out into your world and those become tractor beams, bringing back to you like experiences to that feeling so that when they show up in your life, you've got that same feeling, you go, wow! Wow, this thing has 4 wheels and it's got an engine to it. Wow, this is great. So, what you're going to do is go through the day finding things to appreciate, and that kickstarts the feeling, especially if you get down or lost in any kind of lack or limitation or fear or upset of any kind. The very first thing to do is to shut your mouth and find something to appreciate. Doesn't have to be big, just start it. Stop going where you don't want to go. Stop bringing into you what you don't want to experience and do something different. Doesn't really matter what else it is, as long as you don't go down that road. Any turn at this moment will help. Any turn will help. So you stop going where you don't want to go, you find something to appreciate, you start working the good feelings up inside of you, you go, oh yeah, that's right, that's what I'm supposed to be feeling. And the other thing is just gone. That's a doorway, a window that's closed. That's another life that you did not live. And now you're focused on moving forward into a life that's filled with great things. Why? Because you took charge of your thinking. You took charge of your tractor beams and what they brought in. And once you get a hold of one of those things, it doesn't matter how many people say, that's impossible, you can't have that, there's no way you'll bring that in. I got it locked in with my tractor beam of consciousness, and it's coming in. So, what I want you to do is find a partner something right now? Yes! This is the first day. There you go. Everybody's Dan, Steve, you vote for your partner?
I'm good. I need a partner.
Dan, Barbara, Dan.
Hello? Hi.
Jane, do you have a partner? Jane? Okay, one person is A, one person is B, pick that. What, Donald? Find something in your immediate vicinity and tell B how wonderful it is. Go. appreciating. Did anybody have trouble finding it? No. Did anybody feel the way it grew and grew and grew? Does anybody want to share? Sue.
I started off by appreciating eyeglasses because
Stephanie.
Stephanie was wearing eyeglasses. And it went from appreciating anyone who ever took part in creating, inventing, whatever, selflessly something that could help humanity see better if they can see. And that went to all people who have had any part in any kind of selfless involvement in anything, like hearing aids, pacemakers, whatever it was. And from that, like toward the end, I felt, I don't know, like a kinship with whoever back there, all the people back there who did what they did so that I could see better today.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what you did is you saw something and then you grabbed what Abraham would call a better feeling thought, a bigger idea about everybody who had anything to do with eyeglasses. Hey, let's throw in hearing aids. Let's throw in everybody in their families that ever did anything to help so that I can see. And then you brought it back. You used all those ideas. It's not about those ideas. They were great ideas. You used all those ideas to build the feeling up in you so that you went, wow, I can see. Excellent. Who else? Mary.
Okay, so I went with this video camera up here and I was talking about how it went from, it's great that we can be able to put the videos up on the website and people get to see this and the word is passed out more and more about our teaching. And in fact, then it went to that classes like this, or you and John offer them on a love offering basis and we don't have to pay for them, so it went into freedom and exercise with that. Yeah, but and then it went to the idea that the people in Africa are listening and how we're all, huh? What?
Obaki.
Obaki. And then into how we're all one. And then I went into talking about, like, if we went, if I was still teaching, I'd have Facebook and the kids would be talking to each other in different countries. And then it shifted all the way back into, I love the being on video myself and talking and sharing and maybe I want. And then I had my own HGTV show.
Sylvia talked about water in more forms than I could have ever come up with, and all based on a water bottle. And she talked about the form of the bottle, and then got into ice and snow and rivers and raindrops and every different. So the variety of forms. She just kept going and going and going, and it was just a really warm showers, hot tea, and it was just really. She just kept growing with it. That there are so many different ways to appreciate this one water.
Yay! You have so many things to be grateful for. You have so much in your life right now that if you just take 5 minutes and think about it, you're going to end up feeling connected with all people, all times, blessed beyond measure, and then you take that out and you live from that place and your life transforms before your very eyes. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, your homework, home play, is to spend at least 15 minutes in the morning, because you don't want to say, God, I could have had a great day. You want to start off in the morning, and it doesn't matter what you pick. It's not the story that you make up or look at about whatever it is. You are generating a feeling, and you are going to become masters of generating feelings. And I heard this when it came out, and I may just have to write it down. If you want to be master of your fate, you must learn to become master of your state. So that is what you are going to do, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Think about chocolate. Think about coffee. Think about sex. Think about water. Think about food. Think about sunlight. Think about rain. Think about and to nurture it and to build it up to where people see you coming and go, oh my God, they're just too happy. I can't hear that. We often get that response from people who are here on Sundays for the first time. Christy calls them on Monday. And often it is, you guys are just a little hard to handle, and Christy assures them that they'll get used to it, that it's better to get used to a lot of happiness than it is to get used to a lot of misery. If you're used to misery, turn it around to happiness and watch how that natural state, that spiritual energy will align with joy much better than it ever aligned with struggle and lack and suffering. Because that's the natural flow of life, is to be in your joy, to have fun in life, to manifest everything and everywhere, and to watch life be the incredible journey that it is. So, do I have your agreement that you will do this very big task on your spiritual path to appreciate one thing 15 minutes every day at least? Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Wonderful. Now I do offer these classes on a love offering basis. I do not charge you a fee, but I want you to take a moment and think about the wealthy person that you are, and how does that person give in this class? Create it and step into it and take action on your own behalf. Take out your checks. The checks get made out to Center for Spiritual Living Asheville or CSLA. I love what I do. I love reaching out into thin air and grabbing stuff. And I love knowing that everything that I have is my creation. So what I know right here and right now is that Spirit is in this place in all of its abundance, in all of its prosperity, in all of its freedom, in us, as us, is us. We were created out of the infinite supply of life. It is our nature. It is the essence and the substance of who we are and our experience. So I know for each and every one of us that we have more than enough. We have more than enough time and opportunity and energy and happiness and money. I know that we bring that experience into us as we give this money away. We set the law of attraction in motion. Whatever we give out comes back to us multiplied abundantly. So I know that each one of us comes together this night to make this Center for Spiritual Living Asheville all that it was ever meant to be. It is a place of peace, a beacon of light, a tower of strength, a person calling, and a fountain of wisdom that touches the lives of all who call it home. And so it is. Hold the energy, hold the energy. What are you asking here? Hold the energy. We have gold coming into our lives. We have silver coming into our lives. We have property coming into our lives. We have cars and homes and money everywhere. That is what we are attracting, and we are bringing it in joy, in gratitude, in appreciation, in love, and in happiness. I speak my word as God's word right here and right now for each and every one of us. We are rich. We are made out of the richness of the divine. It is in us. It is as us. It is us now. And I know that everything that we touch has the Midas touch. Our bank accounts grow filled full to overflowing. People seek us out to do business deals with us. I know that longtime friends find us. They track us down, and we are joyous. I know that everything in our lives unfolds wonderfully, joyfully fallen into place better than we ever dreamed. I know that we are blessed right here and right now. Our lives get better and better and better. I know that everything in these baskets is blessed because whenever we give, that which we are goes with our gift. Light, love, happiness, clarity, power, joy, energy. That's what came from us. It's an energy that fills up this room from the floor to the ceiling, all between the walls. This air is rich and blessed with God as us. Right here and right now, that movement of spirit touches us, it awakens us, it reminds us, it quickens us, it blesses us. And it goes on out to lift the consciousness of every being on this planet because we are one. I know that there's more than enough food, more than enough clean water, more than enough places to live and safety for all. I know that we choose to be clear and powerful in our creations, and I am so grateful for my peeps, for my center, for this wonderful information that allows us to create the lives of our dreams. I am so grateful for each and every one of us. And so it is.